Singer-songwriter Tori Amos has sold over 12 million records worldwide and has just released her new album, Oceans to Oceans.
Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Honey, bring it close to my lips. Honey, bring it close to my lips, yeah. Gotta be big. Gotta be big. Gotta be big. Never was a cornflake girl. Thought that was a good solution.
So that, the wonderful Tori Amos. You can also see her on tour at the Apollo in Ardwick in March of next year. And she joins me now. Good morning.
Hey there, Michelle.
Good morning. It's lovely to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, and so the new album you got out, Ocean to Ocean, that we mentioned, I believe has been inspired by experiences during lockdown. Can you tell me about that?
I think by the third one, I'd had enough. I don't know about you, but by the third one, I hit the wall.
Yeah.
America was going mad at the time. This is, mid-January. And so being in Cornwall, I just had to go to her, go to the land, get some strength, get some energy, and she gave it back.
And so Cornwall is where then you spent lockdown as the pandemic hit. Can you tell us who was in your house at the time?
On the first lockdown, husband, Tash, our daughter, and who was in uni at the time, and her boyfriend, Oliver, who there was an immune compromised, I won't go into detail, family member on his side. So we thought the best thing was for us to, be a team.
Absolutely, yeah. And how are you as a kind of mother-in-law figure? Are you a nice one or are you a scary one?
Oh, I hope I'm not scary. I hope I'm not scary.
Because it must be quite intimidating for him to have moved into that house at that point.
He's a bass player at Guildhall, so at least he was in a house of musicians that understand practice times and all that kind of thing. And every night we would sit around after dinner and we would listen to Oliver's tunes. So he would play all kinds of things, all kinds of music that Mark and I hadn't heard. So the first lockdown was we bonded together, but it was the third one that really sunk me, as they say.
And brought the emotions out.
Yeah.
And then this led you then to writing the album, because you were already writing one anyway.
Yeah.
So I presume, did that just go in the bin then?
Yeah, Ben. Ditched it. Dog's dinner, yeah, see ya.
So can you talk us through then some of the songs and some of the emotions behind them?
Well, I guess Metal Water Wood is the first song that came, and that was when I was at my lowest. And the muses basically said to me, write from the muck. If that's where you are, write yourself out of it. And so that's the first one. And then that kind of pulled me outdoors. And I was in Cornwall, yes, with the trees, with the cliffs, and something started to happen. I realized she wasn't in lockdown. She was regenerating. Even though there were fires on the west coast of the States and floods everywhere, there was something happening from winter to spring in Cornwall where it was, but she's giving birth, she's rebirthing herself. And so I thought, I want to capture that and make that magic sound.
Absolutely, yeah. It sounds great. And I mean, there's a big link, isn't there, between mental health and music? Like you've just said, you wrote your way out of feeling down. Is that fair to say that, you feel that it's good for your mental health to be able to put things down on paper and write about how you're feeling?
Yes, I do. And sometimes it's not an easy task because you're fighting the forces of, it's the sadness monster. And it seems like it is a monster. And so to get from this place of, not feeling empowered, not feeling like you know what you need to say, because when you're grappling and you're in that place, that's a very different place than where I am right now. But that's because I sat with it and was able to be with it and be honest. I think that's the key. And being honest then led me to going outside and finding the magic that was outside and feeling Mother Cornwall.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think people will relate to what you've said, you know, whether you're a huge singer-songwriter or, you know, whether you're a teacher or whatever it is you do. I think getting outside, we all know, can make us all feel better. Even just the fact you're saying about writing your songs, you know, one of the things, the advice they give if you're not feeling great is to write everything down. It's quite therapeutic, isn't it?
It is, and I think then you begin to know what you're really feeling. Instead of pretending, because the pretending, for me, I can only speak from my perspective. I needed to get real with myself and just be honest. And in the honesty, then the grief came. Whatever we're grieving for, grief's a strange thing. I lost my mom a couple years ago, and I thought I was over it. I thought, you know, okay, we've onwards. But then the third lockdown, I think it just seemed like the never-ending nightmare story, and I couldn't pick up the phone and call her. So it was just one of those things, the person that knew what to say all the time, and I know you have that person in your life.
Absolutely, yeah.
But she wasn't there. Yeah. So that's when I then had to turn to Earth Mother.
I think, you know, the way you've just described grief then, I think, again, a lot of people will agree with, you know, there's not a set pattern for it, is there? It can just come out of the blue and knock you off your feet, and it's just trying to deal with that at the time. You know, it's a real tough thing, you know, and everyone just needs to find the way of dealing with it, don't they?
Yeah, and sometimes I think we need to know that that is normal. It's normal that some days you feel like, okay, onwards, but then some days it's like a wave crashing over you again. And I just want to let people know they're not alone. You know, it's to have loved so deeply that they're gone means that, wow, we had that love. And that's the thing I'm trying to remember, that I experienced such incredible love from a great mum.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, of course, you're going on tour as well, which is something to be celebrated, isn't it?
Finally.
I guess you're excited about that, aren't you?
It's been so long, Michelle, for most musicians with the live world.
Yeah.
And I think all musicians have missed it, but I'm hoping that music lovers have missed it too, because I can't wait to be out there making magic with everybody again.
Absolutely. I think everybody is hungry for it. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
The wonderful Tori Amos, her new album, Ocean to Ocean, is out now, and also you can catch her at the Apollo in Ardwick in March of next year. Thank you.
Thank you.